A decisive clash, Waterloo's enduring significance. The Battle of Waterloo, fought on June 18, 1815, stands as a pivotal moment in European history. This monumental clash, near the village of Waterloo in present-day Belgium, marked the final defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte, ending 25 years of war in Europe. The battle's outcome redrew the political map of Europe and ushered in a period of relative peace. It solidified the end of French hegemony and paved the way for the rise of Britain as a global power. Waterloo remains etched in our collective memory, a symbol of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring consequences of ambition and conflict. The rise of the Emperor Napoleon's meteoric ascent. Napoleon Bonaparte, born in Corsica in 1769, rose to prominence during the chaos of the French Revolution. A brilliant military strategist, Napoleon's victories in Italy and Egypt cemented his reputation. He seized power in a coup in 1799, becoming first consul of France. In 1804, he crowned himself emperor, embarking on a series of conquests that expanded French influence across Europe. Napoleon's military genius and ambition seemed unstoppable. He implemented significant reforms in France, codifying laws and modernizing the state. However, his relentless ambition and quest for dominance would ultimately prove to be his downfall. The 100 Days and the road to Waterloo. By 1814, Napoleon's fortunes had changed dramatically. Once the master of Europe, he now found himself at the mercy of his enemies. Defeated by a powerful coalition of European powers, he was forced to abdicate his throne and was exiled to the small island of Elba, off the coast of Italy. However, Napoleon's exile was short-lived. The island of Elba could not contain his ambition and determination. In early 1815, he made a daring escape from Elba and returned to France, landing on the shores with a small contingent of loyal followers. He quickly rallied his supporters and began a bold march towards Paris. His charisma and leadership reignited the fervor of his old soldiers and many civilians. This audacious act of defiance once again plunged Europe into a state of war. The period known as the 100 Days had begun. The Seventh Coalition, comprising Britain, Prussia, Austria, Russia, and other nations, quickly mobilized their armies to confront the resurgent Napoleon. They were determined to prevent his return to power and end the cycle of French aggression once and for all. The stage was set for a final decisive confrontation. This confrontation would culminate in the Battle of Waterloo, a battle that would forever change the course of European history. The battle saw Napoleon's final defeat, marking the end of his rule and the beginning of a new era for Europe. The Congress of Vienna would soon reshape the continent, striving to create a lasting peace and balance of power. Napoleon was exiled once more, this time to the remote island of St. Helena, where he would spend the remaining years of his life, far from the power and glory he once knew. The 100 Days and the Battle of Waterloo left an indelible mark on Europe, shaping its future and leaving a legacy that endures to this day. Clash at Quatre Bras, a crucial prelude. As Napoleon advanced into Belgium, two crucial engagements preceded the main battle at Waterloo. On June 16, 1815, Marshal Ney, one of Napoleon's most trusted commanders, faced the Duke of Wellington's Anglo-Allied army at the crossroads of Quatre Bras. The battle was a fierce and bloody stalemate, preventing Ney from blocking Wellington's advance. Meanwhile, Napoleon himself engaged the Prussians under Field Marshal Blücher at Ligny. The French victory at Ligny, though costly, forced the Prussians to retreat. However, crucially, they were not routed. They remained a potent threat to Napoleon's flank. Section 5. Maneuvering for advantage, battle plans and dispositions. Following these initial clashes, both sides maneuvered for a decisive confrontation. Napoleon aimed to destroy Wellington's army before the Prussians could regroup and join the fight. Wellington, aware of the Prussian retreat, strategically positioned his army near Waterloo, astride the Brussels road. He hoped to lure Napoleon into a defensive battle while Blücher's forces marched to his aid. The stage was set for one of the most significant battles in history. Section 6. The Fury Unleashed, a day of desperate struggle at Waterloo. The Battle of Waterloo commenced on the morning of June 18, 1815. The air was thick with anticipation as both armies prepared for the monumental clash that would decide the fate of Europe. Napoleon's plan relied on breaking Wellington's lines before the Prussians could arrive. He meticulously strategized, believing that a swift and decisive victory would cement his dominance. The French launched a series of massive assaults on the Allied positions. Waves of infantry surged forward, determined to break through the steadfast defences of the British and their allies. The fighting was brutal and relentless, with both sides displaying extraordinary courage and tenacity. The battlefield was a cacophony of musket fire, cannon blasts, and the cries of wounded soldiers. French cavalry charges thundered against the British infantry squares. The ground shook as thousands of hooves pounded the earth, and the clash of steel rang out as cavalry met infantry in fierce combat. Artillery fire tore through the ranks, leaving carnage in its wake. The deafening roar of cannons and the smoke-filled air added to the chaos and horror of the battlefield. Key moments like the defense of Hougoumont Farm and La Haye-Sainte showcased the ferocity of the fighting. These strongholds became focal points of the battle, with both sides vying for control in desperate hand-to-hand combat. Despite heavy losses, Wellington's army held firm, repelling each French attack. The resilience and discipline of the Allied forces were put to the ultimate test as they faced wave after wave of French assaults. As the day wore on, the arrival of Prussian forces on Napoleon's right flank turned the tide of the battle. The fresh troops bolstered the Allied lines, providing much-needed reinforcements and a renewed sense of hope. A final, desperate French attack aimed at breaking the Allied centre was met with devastating fire and a countercharge by the British heavy cavalry. The battlefield was a scene of utter chaos as the French forces were driven back, marking the beginning of the end for Napoleon's ambitions at Waterloo. As the smoke cleared and the echoes of battle faded, the true cost of the day's struggle became evident. The fields were littered with the fallen, and the survivors tended to the wounded and mourned their lost comrades. The Battle of Waterloo had ended, but its impact would resonate through history, forever marking the end of an era. Today, the battlefield of Waterloo stands as a solemn reminder of the sacrifices made and the fierce determination of those who fought. Monuments and memorials dot the landscape, honoring the bravery and resilience of the soldiers who shaped the course of history on that fateful day. Section 7. The Empire Falls. Defeat, Abdication and Exile. With his army shattered, Napoleon's last gamble had failed. The French retreat quickly descended into a rout. The Battle of Waterloo was a decisive victory for the Seventh Coalition. Napoleon fled back to Paris, where he abdicated for the second time. This time there would be no escape. He surrendered to the British and was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic. Section 8. Shaping a Continent. Waterloo's impact on Europe. Waterloo's impact on Europe was profound. The Congress of Vienna, convened in the aftermath of the Napoleonic Wars, redrew the map of Europe, aiming to prevent future conflicts. France was restored to its pre-revolutionary borders, and a balance of power was established among the major European states. The battle also solidified Britain's position as the dominant naval power of the 19th century. The defeat of Napoleon ushered in a period of relative peace in Europe, allowing for economic and social progress. Section 9. A legacy forged in blood and iron. Waterloo in history and memory. The Battle of Waterloo, fought on June 18, 1815, stands as one of the most significant military engagements in European history. The Battle of Waterloo has left an enduring legacy. It was a clash of titans where the forces of the French Empire under Napoleon Bonaparte met the Allied armies commanded by the Duke of Wellington and Prussian General Blücher. It marked the end of an era, closing the chapter on the Napoleonic Wars and the French Empire. Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo signaled the fall of his empire and the restoration of the Bourbon monarchy in France. Waterloo became a symbol of British military prowess and solidified Wellington's reputation as a brilliant strategist. His ability to hold the line against Napoleon's formidable forces has been studied in military academies around the world. The battle has been immortalized in art, literature, and popular culture, from Tennyson's Charge of the Light Brigade to countless paintings and films. The vivid depictions of the battle scenes and the heroism displayed have captured the imagination of generations. Today, the Waterloo battlefield remains a site of pilgrimage. The fields where soldiers once fought are now a place of reflection and remembrance. Visitors from around the world come to pay their respects and reflect on this pivotal moment in history. They walk the grounds, visit the memorials, and imagine the thunder of cannons and the clash of swords that once echoed across these fields. The lessons of Waterloo, a testament to the human cost of conflict and the enduring desire for peace, continue to resonate today. The battle serves as a stark reminder of the devastation of war and the importance of striving for a peaceful resolution to conflicts. The legacy of Waterloo is not just one of military strategy and heroism, but also of the profound impact of war on humanity and the enduring hope for a better, more peaceful world.